Mhm. You know, this police report where there's the accusation of attempting to contact the petitioner through a third party? Yeah. Though considered domestic violence, it's not like I talked to her personally. Yeah. Or attempted to commit domestic violence. Now, since the police worksheet was some sort of interview of the individual that happened to be an employee of Healthy Families of Cloud County, yeah, I just want to mention, yeah, that when I got out of jail, yes, I would have violated the probation of Guam, yes, I would have violated the restraint provisions of the protection order, yes, I would have violated the conditions of personal recognizance, yeah. Now that could have probably added up to maybe a Class B felony right now. See, Guam would have said, well, we have to open the case up and try him again right now. And Clallam County would have said, well, you violated the restraint provisions twice of the protection order that we issued in 2011. Yes. And then the district court would have said, well, Paul, you violated the conditions of personal recognizance. Pooh. But that wasn't good enough for you. You decided to reissue the protection order. So that you could get me for violating two protection orders and probation and personal recognizance. Yes. Now that would have added up to four different charges of domestic violence. Now on paper, I probably could have got 1 to 5 years for that right now. Mm. Somehow I think it's an abuse of authority and process. Yes. To motion the court to reissue the protection order to renew it. Yeah. While on personal recognizance. And if I had responded to the court, yes, I'm sure that Brent Baisden or Commissioner Kniebs, yes, would have taken it upon themselves to remind me that I got arrested. Yeah, you really stacked the deck against me, didn't you? Now let's see. The unanimous decision, yes, of the verdict of the jury was not guilty. Yeah. And the expungement from the Superior Court of Guam was I had no arrest record and no court record. Yes. Now, you would have thought those two conditions would have required the removal of all protection orders. Yes. And since I was found not guilty, I was no longer on personal recognizance. That's right. So instead of the not guilty verdict, yes, removing all conditions of obstructing my right to talk to my sons, yep, all it did was remove the personal recognizance. Yes, the expungement removed the conditions of probation. Yeah. And then there were two protection orders in place until August 12th of 2012. Right. Well, that one expired after the 1 year. So we just had the one protection order in place before you modified it in October 2012. I don't think you're doing what the law requires. Yes. And I think you're enemy combatants of the United States of America. Now, just beginning to look at what's known as the 2019 edition of the Manual for Military Commissions. Yes. Then there's the Military Commissions Trial Judiciary Rules of Court. Yeah. And then the Military Commission Act of 2009. Yes. Then there's some regulations for trial. Now, I know we think it's ISIS or the Al Qaeda. Pooch! But I'm going to want to use this military commission. Could you get me the employees of the United States Army?